Hey everybody, Dave here. Hope you're having an awesome day. It's Christmas week. There's a lot going on. I don't have a ton of time, so I thought I want to do something that doesn't take a lot of brain power, but it's kind of fun. And I think something that you could do as well. I found this at the Dollar Tree, and for a buck, it's a pretty cool little toy. And I think it's something that, if you wanted to try a little project, this is a great way to start and pretty simple. So come on, let's do it. All right, here he is, the Dollar Tree toy, Final Faction. No clue what that is, so anyways, let's pull this out. And for a Dollar Tree toy, it is actually a pretty nice sculpt, and there's some really cool pre-molded gouges and dents and scratches, so I'll definitely take advantage of that. Then there's these kind of strange holes throughout it. I'm not sure why they're there, but I think I'm going to take some headphone wire and maybe make some little connections so it looks kind of cool. And then for the paint job, I think I'm going to do a base coat of silver and then do kind of a military green on certain areas like the arm and so forth. So yeah, let's do this. Let's give this a quick wash down and the paint will stick to this much better. A lot of times with these cheaper toys, you'll get some mold lines, so I'm going and just taking an X-Acto knife and just trimming these off just to clean it up a little bit, and then when I paint it up it'll look a lot nicer. So I've taken this outside, I've primed it, and then I painted it a silver, and now I'm brushing some military green on there. I realized that there's actually probably going to be more green than silver, so I think what I'm going to do is take this back outside, paint it with like a olive green paint, and then brush on my silver. Okay, yeah, I like this green way better, and this is going to be a little bit easier for me. I'm just going to hand brush the silver areas, so I'm just going to do the hands and maybe the joints in the elbow, some joints at the knees. I think this is going to go a lot quicker, and I'll get a better result than trying to hand brush all that green on there. Alright, so I have an old brush. The bristles are going crazy. They're sticking out all over the place. This is perfect for dry brushing. I'm just dipping in the silver, brushing it off on some paper so there's hardly any paint left, and then you just kind of lightly nick the edges, and it gives a really cool worn metal look to all the edges of your robot or droid or any project that you're working on. You can do this on spaceships and stuff, so I'm just kind of giving this a nice once over with the dry brush. Alright, now I'm going to take some accent colors, and I'm really just using a craft paint from Hobby Lobby. It's literally like a 69-cent craft paint. I'm using this orange. It brushes on really translucent, which normally would be a pain, but this is actually working pretty nice for me because it's allowing some of the green and the texture to come through. I'll do probably 3 or 4 coats on this, but in the end I think it turns out really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just work through all of these little accent parts. You'll notice I took the robot apart. There's actually 2 Phillips screws on the back, so it was really easy to open up. And this actually makes it a little bit easier for me to paint these smaller individual parts. So right here I'm just painting the visor. You can see I've already painted some orange accents on the helmet. I'll do a couple of little silver accents on there, but I think overall this is turning out pretty great, and it's pretty easy to work on once it was taken apart. Alright, so here's the leg, and you can see I've already done some of the orange accent pieces there, and then I was looking at the boot and I was thinking, if I paint that black it'll actually give a little bit of variety in the coloring, so I'm just kind of working on that right now, just painting this boot black. I'll hit the heel, and I'll give this 2 coats. The first coat didn't quite cover exactly how I wanted, so give that 2 coats and that'll turn out pretty nice. Alright, just taking the Tamiya silver again and hitting some of the details on the legs. I went ahead and did that for both the legs. And as you can see, I already have some dry brushing. I'll go back in and hit some of those little scratches just to kind of show the gouge of the metal, and it's a little bit deeper, and then again just hitting some of the little accents there. And then really similar to the green, when I did the dry brushing, I'm doing the same thing, just kind of dipping my brush in the silver, wiping most of the paint off, and then just lightly hitting the edges, and it really brings out, especially on this orange, the worn metal, and gives it some nice dimension. I'm really liking how this is looking. Okay, so with these holes, I've got an old pair of headphone wire, and I just kind of measured it up, going from the front to the back, cut a little piece, just put some super glue in there, and the wire actually fit almost perfectly. Once I put the super glue in, it kind of slid in with a little bit of muscling, which I think is pretty great. So I super glue up the back portion as well and get this piece in. It was a little tricky because it curves around, so I just used the back of an X-Acto knife to kind of help push in there, but I think it turned out really cool. I'm going to go ahead and do this for the other leg and the arms, and I might do a couple wires on the back as well, but overall I think it looks pretty sweet. Alright, we're in the home stretch. I'm going to do just a wash of my Nuln oil. I really like doing this. I feel like it gets nice darks in the cracks and crevices and kind of grunges it up just a little bit more like a robot would be. So we'll finish this up, and I think we're about done. So let's take a look at this thing all finished up. As always, it is a great day to be a toy nerd. Go make something cool.